Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You know me, Martin Morris, tour2petybroke.com. The student loan, $94,485 down to, it'll be down to $7,361. You know, Grant Cardone made me a better engineer. This is what I do when I'm not, when you don't see me, when you don't see me in the summit, this is what I do, man. I go do construction. I go out, I do concrete work, I do asphalt work. Sometimes I move trees. So you see some trees over there. I usually move those type of trees. You're like, Mark, how did Grant Cardone make me a better engineer? Well, I'm a civil engineer for the past 20 years. One thing I really didn't know how to do was talk to the people. And, you know, because as engineers and technical people, we just kind of just get stuff done. But things have become more political in like this internet age, and you know, diversity this, diversity that, everything's changed. You gotta know how to properly talk to people. Things come down from the politicians. You just have to get stuff done. I had a big project in December of '62. We put some K-rail on the road. Then I found out a bunch of heavy loads were coming through. Then I found out somebody was complaining to the governor, complaining to the different people. So I got caught up in all of that stuff. But what I used from the technique I used from Grant Cardone was to show them, not instead of telling people, showing them. I told somebody, go out there, actually measure, give me the measurements, send me the measurements, and then I'll talk to the person about the issue. Solve the problems. Every time someone brings something up for that particular project, hopefully I'll get the K-rail picked up next Friday. I started to push the issue. It's a crazy situation. It's kind of my fault because I assumed something, like Grant says, is go out there. Sometimes you try to assume stuff, but then people do other things. It's a mess, man. But hopefully within the next week or so, we get all the K-rail picked up. But the technique I learned from Grant Cardone was just show them. You don't need to talk. You don't need to blah, 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 like. Just, hey, this is what it is. We measure 20 feet, 9 inches, plus a couple of more inches. You could probably take a 21-foot load through there. But hopefully next Friday, this will all be resolved. But just like, that's what I say. Sales is not just for making money. Sales can help you with anything, man. I remember I had another issue where I had with my grandmother. The reason I had to pay off my student loan, I had a student loan that was $94,485. The reason I had to start paying off my student loan, because back then I had to take a pay cut. And also I lost a couple of foreclosures at 5962 and 5965 Richard Drive. If you go by there, you still see the oleander tree that I planted. It's a big tree, man. And I had the tenants, they didn't pay the rent, and I kept taking out lines of credit on the Bank of America. Then I kept getting tax bills from the state of California on property taxes. Then I had some issues with some limited liability issues, where eventually I just lost the duplexes. So the reason I had to pay off the student loan, because I was using my income tax to pay the lawyer, because we found out my grandmother and I didn't do it properly. We had the will was in conflict with the estate, and the grandmother didn't want her son to get part of the house because he was a drug addict, and she was afraid like he would just be a drug addict and mess it up. So I had to go to court and get him removed from the house deed stuff. So it was a big thing. Also, I was using some of that extra money to pay off the tax bill with the state, because you know with the property taxes, it took me a while to pay those off. I kept getting these bills for $2,600. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is back during the 2008 crisis. So I was just tapped out, basically. And I remember I got a call on the phone. Mr. Moore, I know you said, how does this relate to Grant Cardone? I'm almost there. The reason I got a call, Mr. Morris, we need you to pay off your student loan or start paying it, or if we're going to attack this or that, forced me to pay it off. So since then, I've been taking on different jobs. I remember I took on a job working at Macy's. I took on a job working at different events. Took a job working at Ontario Center. I used to go help out at different conferences and stuff. But what I learned, though, is just like how to sell, man. Just how to sell myself. I can get this done. I know I can get this done. How do I get it done? I go to Google, man. Or I go to Grant, like how to overcome rejections. I was at Macy's. You got to make this certain total thing. What can you do? Okay, I learned how to show people stuff, learn how to overcome their objectives, take full responsibility. So when it came for like the lawyer thing, I said, I know you need the money. I used to grant things where I agree. I know you need like $5,000. I know you need $10,000. But can I just give you five and I'll get you the extra five? Give me 2 weeks, I'll get you the extra $5,000. You just start the process, but I will say, hey, you don't have to go to court unless I give you the money to talk in court. How does that sound? You get your speaking fee. How about this? This is your research, and I give you extra five. That's your speaking fee. So that's how I got through that crisis. So, and then also the crisis I just got through being visual, showing people. I don't even argue. I just agree. So engineering and sales, everything's sales. Everything's the same thing. That's why I started the Too Old to Be Broke business, like trying to help people pay off their student loan. That's why you see me with some stories. You say, Martin, why do you talk about your teeth? When I was in high school, sophomore year, went in and talked to Miss Mills. She's my counselor. This is after I almost got kicked out for fighting and stuff. I got kicked off the football team. I got kicked off the track team. Oh, it was a fucking mess, man. I was sitting in her office and she said, Martin, have you considered going to a dentist and looking at your teeth? I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? Because what happened was I had one teeth used to be right here, had other teeth stick. Steve was, I look like what was that movie, Wolfpack? I look like one of the Wolfpack people, man. So teeth was everywhere. So have you considered going to a dentist? I said, no, not really. So I mean, I remember I went to this one dentist. My grandfather and I went to it. He was an Asian dentist guy. I remember it was some office in Hawthorne or something, this dark office. He looked at my teeth. He said, something's wrong. I was like, oh, fuck. So then after that, I ended up going to another dentist, and another dentist said, yeah, I think this other dentist is right. Because what was happening, like I had like this gum disease thing. And like if you don't treat it, you lose it. It eats away all the bone. And then you don't have no teeth. So here I am, 16 years old, I gotta worry about losing my teeth. And that's a whole new story stuff. But that's another thing where I didn't even know about Grant Cardone, but I was just using his skill. Always prepare me for when I would meet up with him. Kind of like using my skills. Okay, what can I do to get this covered, man? So that's a story. But I talked to you about that because I was like, almost lost my teeth at 18 years old, man. What other things do I talk to you about? I remember when I quit my job and I just disappeared for about 6 months. I went to the Amasa Institute in Japan and all kind of stuff. But what I'm trying to tell you, sales is everything. Sales is not so much sales, is not so much sales. It's not what you sell, it's what you get from the sale. Like what did I get from helping them guys get these heavy loads through here? I got them peace of mind. I helped make somebody money. I helped buy myself time. I helped buy the contractor time. All of that came from me. Listening, agreeing. Okay, what's actually going on. Let's be visual. So your lesson for today is sales, no one wants to sell. No one wants to do anything. What you want is your action to bring you some money. So think about that today. But how did Grant Cardone help me? He helped me to show, not tell. So go check out my Too Old to Be Broke website, especially if you have a student loan, $94,485. Mine is down to $8,161. Soon, when I get home and pay it today, it'll be down to $7,131. Let me help you out, man. Because I want you guys to take advantage of that 0% interest rate right now. Okay, guys. Talk to you later.